So as I look at this kind of draft class for 2025, man, the whole draft class going on with the quarterbacks, you know, you're looking at obviously your two best quarterbacks out of this draft class, but by a landslide at this point, Cam Ward, Shadarius Sanders. But I've scattered those guys. I've talked about them quite a bit on the channel. And I want to talk really about Will Howard. Now, Will Howard's 24. Again, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but people saying he's a bit too old. I'm like, again, Jaden Daniels was 24 when he got drafted last year, and he had a fantastic 2024 for the Commanders. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the games I watched him in. Akron, a couple of games I saw him in was Akron, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Texas, Tennessee, Northern Western, Iowa, Oregon, and Purdue. So they're the kind of the games that I saw him in. Let's talk about the first thing I saw of him on tape. He has advanced progression on play actions, and he consistently has a great manufacturer malfunction of the second level. He has great eye movement, and he can pump up fades, and he's great at throwing the ball up the field. He's comfortable operating under the center. No, he's got a great crisp foot in my opinion. I think his footwork, he's good. He's got some good footwork. He has these steps down, step drops 7. He has like a 7-step drop 7, which again is pretty he's kind of rare in the modern NFL. But yeah, I do like this kid's footwork. He's got some good footwork. Then people, he plays well for his size and combo, which again allows him to extend plays throughout the trenches, and he can shove off arm tackles while keeping eye contact downfield, which is again, that's what you kind of need. A quarterback that looks around, kind of sees the other line. He's not like a Justin Fields or one of these guys like, oh, let's run the ball, all this stuff. It's like he's looking around, see if does he like what he sees, does he throw it away, stuff like that. Again, he has a quick mental progression of pre-snaps in defenses, which again, is something absolutely you need it in the NFL. And he can adjust to protection with a veteran. He has he can get himself into protection. He has like a veteran savviness about him, where he's not like, oh my god, what the fuck am I doing here? He has great savviness about him. Kind of, you look like maybe he's like a Geno Smith, or like maybe like a Baker Mayfield. I'll say like a Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith type, where he's a good hand. He's going to be a starter somewhere. I think absolutely going to be a starter somewhere, but he's not going to be the guy that I don't think so far to win you a championship. Like again, he's a good guy to have somewhere that you can have a quarterback for a couple of years, see what you have. But yeah, and then he's great on his vertical throws, and he displays great improvement on deep ball plays, and he has a great balance during plays, and he can run off the outside, which again you can see that in the combo as well, in the combine. Now a couple of his weaknesses here. Kind of more inconsistent. He kind of sometimes leads to sporadic ball placement when he's one thing I saw in his tape, he leaves something he's kind of inconsistent on his sporadic ball placement, which is something that you're gonna have some good growing pains with that. That's one of the growing pains you're gonna have. And then when he's under the pressure, he can especially he can really lose his platform when he's under the pressure. Especially when the quarterbacks are coming at him, he can sometimes get forced out of position. He's kind of, one of the other things, he's kind of inconsistent on reads that are covered, unintended covers. He's inconsistent on the reads. He's limited on creative instinct reads when in coverage, uncovered. So again, when he's on when you have to in creative reads, he's kind of really, when look at some, he kind of struggles to make some creative reads when he's on the field. That's one of the big problems he has with his game, especially when he's looking down the field trying to find a way out of the pocket, and then which ultimately he locks himself, and then ultimately leads up to him locking himself into rushing through, working the playing progression. And then really his hip work, his hip work has to be improved as well. When he has an incapability to throw with his hips, kind of sometimes his hip movement needs a bit off, especially when he's moving in the pocket. And one thing, again, people saying about his age being 24, I'm like, again, you look at some other quarterbacks they've had in the past, like, you've had Stetson Bennett who was 25, 26 when he was drafted. It's like, the guy's got, again, he's got some upside to him. Will Howard's got some upside to him. In his last season at college, he had 35 touchdowns, 410 passing yards. He was averaging 303 completions in his passes. So again, he had a good, like this season, he had a really good final year. He had over 4,000 passing yards, 35 passing touchdown season, and 303 completions in his passes. Again, he had a pretty good last season in college. And again, he's definitely going to be, I think in my opinion, he's going to be probably a day 3 pick, maybe. He's between day 2 and day 3. He's not going to go top 10. I'll be surprised if he does go top 10, but I think because of what I said about his throwing, he's not creative enough, especially when he's limited in his creative instincts and stuff like that. That's kind of one thing that's letting him down. And then the other thing is with his movement with his hips, and him trying to throw the ball out of the pocket. That's one of the other reasons why as well. I just see him being a day 2, day 3 pick. I just don't see him going any higher than that. To me, in my opinion, I just think that's so. Again, he could be good somewhere, maybe like the Giants or something. Like the Giants, he goes to the Giants, or he goes to the Raiders or something. Like, I don't know. Like, he's just gonna be a good stopgap for a couple of years, and then you could move on to somebody else. I could be wrong, and he could prove me wrong, but who knows.